Okay, so this is a really good consistency for the grout. It's a bit kind of like room temperature butter, or a bit like a cake mix maybe. Don't know, can you see that on the camera? It's about like that. So it's not dropping straight away, that would be too wet. So it's after a bit of a shake. Alright, so we're ready to start grouting. First of all, I'm going to spoon the grout all over the mosaic. So this is very delightful. Just to slop it all on. And at this moment, it's, you know, often people that do this get a bit scared because they're like, oh my god, where's my mosaic gone? That's a bit worrying, but don't worry, it'll be fine. You've got to work quite quickly because the grout's curing all the time, so to work as quick as you can, but obviously you want to work at a nice pace at the same time. And try and scrape out the bowl. So if you haven't mixed enough, for example, you're going to need to use this bowl again. So try and scrape it out as much as you can, because otherwise you're just going to have to clean it out more. I mean, I wouldn't mix up more than a bucket load of grout in one go. So if you had a really huge piece, I'd probably just do a bucket load and then just do small bits, small sections. But yeah, because you can't really have a break when you're doing it, you just got to go for it. And the thing with this mosaic is that most of the tiles, 99% of the tiles, are all the same thickness. So that's really good, but if you've got tiles that have got different thicknesses, you need to kind of work on those areas. And you can get like special little tools where you can, so for example, you wouldn't just go like that, you'd have to go in there and start working it. But we're good to go. Okay, so we're near the end now, which is fab. We've got quite a bit of excess here, we can just scrape off into the bucket. So this mosaic is going outside, so we've used a waterproof grout. It's not that much different in price than the normal one for inside. If you want to be artistic with a grout and go for dark or light, but if you want the piece to speak for itself, then you need to go for a mid-grey like this one. Alright, wahey! Wahoo, wahey! So we can scrape this back into the pot. What we're going to do now is we've got to sponge all the excess grout off. So if you get yourself a bowl with some water in it, and maybe have a surface where you can just put your bowl on to rest, or actually even maybe the floor's a better option for here because we've already got that there. So what you want to do is you want to just squeeze out the sponge so it's just, you know, got a bit of water in it but it's not too wet, and then all you want to do is push it down onto your piece, and then what you can do is, that's why a square sponge is really good, you just turn it over and do the same again, and then you rinse off your sponge. So you're going to have to clean this water out a few times, but for now it's alright. So you just squeeze your sponge out, make sure all the grouts come off, get off any excess water, and then do the same again. So you go down like that, and then you turn the sponge round and do it on the other side. And you have to just keep repeating this until your whole piece is completely free of grout. So this takes a bit of time. So you wipe it and then turn, and then wipe it again, and then wash it. I'll wash the thing out. And hello folks. But yeah, it just brings it all together, doesn't it? You know, like you usually can like see all the individual bits, and then when you put the grout on, it just kind of makes the whole, like the piece come all together. If that makes sense.
It does.
There's going to be a slight film of grout all over your piece when you've got all the main excess of. You can see there's hardly any on there now. But all you need to do is leave that now. I'd leave it for a couple of hours, although it doesn't really leave that long, but I'd leave it for a couple of hours, or maybe even overnight if you can. And then get a lint-free cloth and just put some water on that, squeeze it out, and then just kind of give it a good wipe at the end. You can polish it if you like with furniture polish, put the furniture polish on the cloth and then wipe it. Beeswax is even nicer, you can give it a really nice rub at the end. But just make sure that you've left it to cure. It's completely hard cure and dry before you do any of the finishing touches. But yeah, that's it really. That's everything you need to know.